The East and the West?
Yeah.
Well, there was no mistaking the line.
Mhm.
The West, especially at night, was all lit up. It was like
Mhm.
a mini New York City with new buildings, new restaurants, clubs, everything. The city was alive, traffic,
Mhm.
and people on the streets. But you looked on the other side, and all you could see were buildings that still had the bullet holes in them and the bombed out
Mhm.
sections. And yeah, and the wall itself was more than just a wall. It was a wall and then layers of barbed wire and fences on the other side of the walls. And as I mentioned in that, you could hear the shooting going on at night.
Mhm.
Um, People were trying to escape,
Yeah.
and some of them didn't make it. Some of them did. Um, are you talking strictly about Berlin?
Or like what other kinds of things do you have? I'll take anything. I'm doing my project specifically on Berlin, but anything
Um,
helps.
well, I'm thinking back a long ways.
Yeah. What year was it exactly? I don't know if we say in here.
I think it was 63,
64
64.
in here.
Okay. And yeah, we had just rented a room there for 3 nights,
Mhm.
and it, everything was dirt cheap. Uh, we were living in Europe on $5 a day. That included our room and our food.
That's crazy.
Uh, yeah, the economy of Europe hadn't recovered yet from the war.
Mhm.
Even in, what was it, 24 years, it still hadn't recovered from the war.
Oops. That's okay.
Um, so everything was inexpensive. The food we found was utterly repulsive. And, for someone who had taken, I don't know, a couple of years of German in college and a couple of years in high school, I should have been able to understand menus,
Mhm.
but I didn't. And I guess we were at an age when all we wanted would have been a hamburger and some French fries,
And beer.
well, that too. But
You're just
yeah,
attracting all the flies.
yeah. How come? Well, I've been
Are you
golfing.
smelly?
Um, I don't know what else to say, Emmy. I
About
don't.
hamburgers.
What?
You were talking about the menus.
Oh yeah. I tried to convey to one waitress in my broken German what I wanted. She said, oh, she had just the thing for me. And so I was excited and waited, and she brought out this dish of, I don't know, some kind of gelled, it was like sliced, but it was all fat, and
Ugh.
chunks of meat were inside the fat. And
Ew.
I did not eat it.
That's
I
really
did not
gross.
eat much of anything in German. I should have known enough to just say, Wiener, please.
Wiener Pizza.
Schnitzel.
Yeah, playing it safe. Play it safe with the schnitzel.
Yeah. Sauerkraut.
Jeez, this just doesn't want to stay up.
Well, that's my fault.
No, it's okay. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it'll be an interesting trip for me.
Oh yes.
Um,
Oh, things are so much different now.
I know. Well, yeah, very different.
And that was it was still the Cold War, and Russia was doing everything it could to hold Germany down.
Mhm.
And you can understand why,
Mhm.
because Germany twice now had invaded Russia,
Yeah.
and she was going to make sure it never happened again.
Mhm.
And she can be brutal.
Crazy.
That thing about the Vopos, that
Mhm.
was true. You know, where do they get Vopos? These guys are always screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they throw 10 of them in a hole, and the one that comes out, they make a Vopo. 10 recruits in a hole.
So that was a real thing
Oh yeah,
that they
every
did?
every word in that thing I wrote is fact. The only
It's
thing that's a
crazy.
little different was about the that monster guy that attacked us,
Mhm.
and the waitress held him back. That didn't. I had to fit that in the context of Berlin, but it happened the day after Berlin when we got out.
Mhm.
I never understood what it was, but he was going to kill